to start with ratios, I'm going to go back and review what we did with ratios the other day. Okay, now, the first thing I want you to tell me is, what is a ratio? Raise your hand and tell me, Stanley, what is a ratio? Okay, somebody give me something else. Raise your hand and give me a little bit more to add to what he said. What is a ratio? Say that, Thomas. It's not an ordered pair. It can be written like that, but it's not quite an ordered pair. A ratio is a comparison of two numbers by division. I'm going to compare two things. All right. Just say I wanted to write the ratio of boys to girls. All right. If I want to write the ratio of boys to girls, what would I have to do? I have to count how many boys first, and then I put what? How many girls put that second. Okay. If I want to write the ratio of teachers to students. Okay. What would I have to do there? How many teachers go first? How many students? Right. And then how many students go second? So it's one teacher, 28 students. Okay. That's what you have to do. Whatever word comes first, that's the number that you put first. Whatever word comes second, that's the number that you put second. So in your book, the first one says, write the ratio of carnations to daffodils. Okay? How many carnations do you have? 5 carnations. How many daffodils? 3. So your numbers would be 5 and 3. We just write them different ways. Those are the 3 different ways. Remember, I told you, you could write it with a fraction bar, the word to, or a colon. Those are the 3 ways that you can write a ratio. Okay? You can write it with a fraction, the word to, or a colon. Okay? Those are the ways that you write a ratio. 3 different ways you could do that. All right? Those are my 3 different ways. All right. Number 2. What is the ratio? See, now you see how you got that on your page, and you see what I have on the board. You put the total or something. It's not the total. They ask you for carnations and daffodils. So that's what you should have written down. So that's the answer to number 1. All right. What do you have on your paper? You got 8. It should be 3. 5 is correct, but it should be 3. Number 2. What is the ratio of the total number of flowers to carnations? So total is what? You add all of them up. So how many flowers do you have altogether? 12 flowers. And how many of them are carnations? 5. So the 3 different ways are here. So that should be your answer to number 2. Number 3 says, describe a ratio in words about flowers that compare one part to the bouquet of another part. Write the ratio in at least 2 different ways.
Well, you did number 2. You put 12, and 3 instead of 12 and 5.
Oh. Thank you. All right. So there are 4 roses in the bouquet. There are 12 flowers in the bouquet. All right. So it says, describe a ratio in words about the flowers that compare one part of the bouquet to another part. It says, write the ratio in at least 2 different ways. So what can we write? Give me a ratio we can write. Name a ratio that we can write that compare those parts.
4
Roses to what?
flowers.
Roses to what?
Carnation.
Carnation.
Oh, that's somebody's name.
Okay. Now, how many roses do we have?
4.
4 roses. How many carnations? 5. And it says write it in 2 ways. Turn the page. Just put the computer at the top. And Jarvis, come this way and go on to your seat. All right, number 4. It says Ben has a collection of 15 coins in quarters and dimes. There are 7 quarters in the collection. 4 says write the ratio of quarters to dimes in at least 2 different ways. So quarters to dimes.
15 coins.
Quarters to dimes. How many quarters do we have? 7. How many dimes do we have?
18.
No. It says there are a collection of 15 coins. Does it say 15 dimes?
8 dimes.
No, it is 8 dimes. Why is it 8 dimes?
Because 15 minus 7 equals 8.
Good. 15 minus 7 equals 8. The total was 15. You already knew you had 7 quarters, so it's 8 dimes left. So it says write that in 2 ways. So it can be
8 to 15.
You could do 7 to 8, 7 fraction bar 8, or 7 colon 8. All you gotta do is write this in 2 of them. You can write 3 if you want. They only ask for 2. All right, number 5. It says write the ratio of dimes to total number of coins in at least 2 different ways. Dimes to total. How many dimes?
8.
8. What's the total?
8.
So you can write either one of those 2 ways. Describe a ratio in words about the coins that compares the whole coin collection to one part of it. So what could I say? It says describe a ratio in words about the coins that compare the whole coin collection to one part of it.
7 to 15?
No, it says in words. Say it in words. Kenny, put your arms in that and write your answers down. I'm putting them on the board so you. So what could you say? I want you to tell me the word ratios. Like what could you say in words?
7 and 15.
No, those are numbers, baby. 7 and 15 are numbers. I need words to describe a ratio.
8 quarters. Oh,
I need words. I want a ratio in words. Describe.
Quarters to quarters. I mean quarters to dimes.
No, what does it say?
5 quarters. 15 quarters.
In words. You don't have 15 quarters.
Oh, the total number of quarters.
Thank you.
Like that.
Total coins
So a part of the coin.
to what?
Apart.
So what's the part?
Apart.
What dimes, okay? Total coins to dimes.
It's a quarter.
It doesn't matter which part. You could have said total coins to quarters. Okay? It doesn't matter which ratio you say. All they wanted you to do was describe a ratio in words. So when we talk about words, you need to have words to go with your ratios. Okay?
If we was the only one y'all don't.
Right. Let it go. All right. It says then write the ratio in at least 2 different ways. So Stanley, give me a ratio of total to dimes. Write it. Come write it one way. And then Shamaya is going to write it another way.
Can I write it another way?
That's what we did yesterday.
Oh, that's saying what yesterday?
Yeah, so that's why we didn't do it. That's why we're doing this.
Okay, what you for my keyboard?
Oh, really?
Yeah. So,
We working
what
on the page.
I want to do it.
Page 3, 4, 5, and 6. And you
If you
started.
want to do it,
We had already done 3 over here. 3 and 4. 3 and 4 and 5 and 6.
What it is? What it is? Please tell me what it is. What it is? Do slow.
It's 8 to 15.
It's 7. You're on the monthly 15. 7 to 15.
It's 8 to 15.
No, it's 7 to 8.
What does it say? What's first? What does it come over here? What does it say for you to do? It says total, right? To dimes. So those are the numbers that you would write. What's your total? Put it here. Total coins?
So put it right
15. So put 15 here.
and the total.
And then dimes go second. All right, Shemai. Write it a different way. He used the word 2. You write yours a different way.
Can I go there? No.
There you go. Okay, she wrote hers as a fraction. So those are 2 ways you can write that ratio. All right, number 7. It says, is the ratio of quarters to dimes the same as the ratio of dimes to quarters? All right, so Zion, I want you to write the ratio of quarters to dimes. Mercedes, I want you to write the ratio of dimes to quarters. Okay, come on. Yours is quarters to dimes, and yours is dimes to quarters. All right, and yours dimes to quarters, Mercedes. Okay, now, are those ratios the same? No. Because what?
She put the same number in the box.
The numbers are opposite, so you, Mercedes, don't, why are you erasing it? You don't. No, she didn't. She did it right. Hers was dimes to, quarters to dimes, and hers was dimes to quarters. They wrote them correctly.
It feels like,
What were you talking about? All right. So unless you write it wrong, like if she had a wrote 7 to 8, she would have written it wrong because it didn't ask for that. Remember, I told you wherever it starts first, whatever word is first, that number has to go with that word. Just like I said, total first, your total has to come first.
But it feels like the total was 14.
No. Because if you put quarters first and dimes second, then you turn it around and put dimes first and quarters second, those aren't the same ratio. Oh, yeah. All right. So if 8 to 7 and 7 to 8, these are different because Okay, so the ratios are not the same. All right. Number 8. Craddock and Parn each have a plate of apple slices and orange slices. The ratio of apple slices to the total number of slices on Craddock's plate is 4:11. All right, so apples to total is 4:11. All right. It says the ratio of total number of slices to orange slices on Pam's plate. So total to oranges is 13-6. Neither person has more than 20 total slices. Who has more orange slices? Okay, so neither person has more than 20 slices. Who has more orange slices? So we got apples and oranges, right? Okay. So how many apples does this person have? 4. What's their total?
11.
So how many orange slices do they have?
7.
Okay. Okay. How many oranges does this person have?
6.
6. How many apples does this person have?
7.
So the question says, who has more orange slices?
They got the same amount.
Which one? The top person or the bottom person?
Top.
The top person, because they have 7. This person has 6, right? So that's how we figure out who has more orange slices, because if you know your total and you know a part, all you got to do is subtract to get the other part, right? You know the total, you know a part. You subtract to get the other part. All right, so that's the answer to. That's the answer to that part. All right. Anybody have any questions about that? About those 2 pages?
Why are you studying? I'm looking at. So she on him.
All right, now what I want you to do, the next page, page 7, I want you to tear it out. Page 7, I want you to tear it out. All right, I want you to put your name and date on page 7. On page 7, I want you to put your name and today's date. Today is 3 times 5. What is 3 times 5? August 15th. So put your name at the top and August the 15th. All right. Thomas Lewis and Shatavia, take those books up. All right, now I want you to take out your instruction book. Take out your instruction book. That should be the book that's in your book bag. They're going to take those books up and put them in those first two right there that's missing. Okay? Take out your instruction book and I want you to turn to page 5. Just leave that sheet on your desk. All right, Thomas, you got enough, so go ahead and start putting them in that first slot right there.
Can I take up the rest?
No, I need you to have a seat. Gabriel, what I tell you about that paper? So go ahead and take up the books.
Never play this on the radio. Ugly rap about the ratio. Never play this on the radio. This song is all about the ratio.
Yo, check it out, this is my brand new ride. Subwoofers in the back and let the seats inside. I'm mixing paint. The final perfect ratio. Ratios compare quantity. It's making color that shows my ferocity. The ratio of orange beer to the 4 for every 2 pints of.
Am I pause your mind? What I do? You paused it. Hey. Are you paused? I got mad. Watch this.
I think it's going to be.
I look around.
Wait.
You paused it.
Just go have a seat.
Never play this on the radio.
I need you to pay attention.
Never play this on the radio. This song is all about the ratio.
Yo, check it out, this is my brand new ride. Subwoofers in the back and let the seats inside. But the color of the car, it has to go. I'm mixing paint. The final perfect ratio. Ratios compare quantity.
Sit down, Tom.
I'm scared in the way, man.
The ratio of orange take the goal is 2 to 4 for every 2 pints of.
Stop. Get on TV.
Oh, sit up there. We don't have vocabulary anymore.
It's coming. It's coming.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you. I don't think it's not going to, because they gotta get it. They got to order it.
This one black. It's black. I hate this black. She be watching TV.
I still watch it. I watch it all day for gospel. American Dad.
Eric, I know who she likes. Eric, I know who she
I watch the movie.
All right, let's look at page 5. All right, I want you to read page 4 and answer the questions 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 on page 5. You'll have to look at page 4 in order to answer page 5. Do that one by yourself. Ma'am. All right, I said look at page 4 and answer page 5. How are you talking? Stanley, we in the workbook that's in your book bag. Well, why are they on your desk? Well, put them where they need to go. All right, Amy, read at the top of page 4.
Chris mixes 4 cups of cereal, 3 cups of meat on and 2 cups of grains to make it snack. How can you use ratios to compare the quantity of each
All right, so it says, you can use a diagram to represent the information in the problem. You can also use a tape diagram. So you can use a picture, like you can show a picture. You can draw your picture to show. Or you can use a tape diagram. It's just like little boxes. Okay? We got 4 cereal, 3 pecans, 2 raisins, and your total. How much is your total? What is your total? 9. 4 plus 3 plus 2. That's 9. All right. Question 2 says, what are 3 ways to write the ratio of cups of cereal to cups of pecan? Jacorian, I want you to come right there. 3 ways. Cups of cereal to cups of pecans. Cups of cereal to cups of pecans.